Good evening, everybody. Let me know what city you guys are tapping in from, okay? Hey, it's a little hot in here. Maybe I should turn, yeah, let me turn the fan on. Hey, everybody. Where y'all tapping in from? What city y'all tapping in from? Hey, Montgomery. New York City, Nashville, Columbus, Ohio. You guys see me good? How y'all feeling on this full moon? Come on in, get present, get comfortable. If you know somebody who listens to my music, send them this live. Let them know that we are live tonight to do some full moon affirmations. Okay, Tiffany, thank you so much. What do you mean, what do I have on my head? Or do we have somebody? Oh, shoot, Demetrius. Are you gonna be somebody we're gonna have to remove out of here? Hi. Because then I'm gonna have to get a monitor. Because if you're not, I'm sorry, if you're not here, no, I'm not sorry, but if you're not in here for full moon affirmations, you don't belong actually. If you're here to ask random questions, that's not the space for you. Get him out? Yeah, let's get him out. Remove. Oh, I might have to do subscribers only. Um, Yeah. How do I do subscribers only? Let me see how I can do that. Thank you. Okay, well, I have the clip filter on. Hi, Crystal. Will there be availability repleted video to write down the affirmations? Yep, sure will. So I have a filter on. What in the world did I just do? You need a moderator. Okay, who wants to be a moderator for me? Um, hey, TJ, everybody. People need to be respectful. I know, but some people are just bots, actually. Some people are just bored, you know. Human beings are, a lot of people just don't have any real human connection, and hopping in people's lives, generating some type of stimulation is like the only type of connection they have, you know. So it's not personal, it's just more so humans are suffering from an extreme level of disconnection and lack of affection, and that rewires your brain to behave in ways that are um, not human, you know, or the lower nature of being human, you know. Anybody here that watched my live from early on Instagram? If you did not check my live out on my Instagram from early, TJ, you said you enjoyed the live. I have some things to ponder on. Yeah, you did. Okay, good, Natasha. Okay, great. The reason why I asked that is because um, I feel a lot different than the energy I was in earlier, and it is pretty. How can I say? It is very interesting, challenging, and I don't know what the world. I don't know the other word besides humbling, to witness the range of what I can feel um, in one day. And so this earlier today, I had a lot of energy. I felt very activated, very spacious, very um, empowered. And not that I don't feel that way now. I did some reflections. Did you mind if I something come around? No, we are focused on tonight on full moon affirmations. So that is what we're focusing on tonight. Those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Toni Jones. I'm an affirmation musician that helps people talk to themselves better, okay? So if you're new here, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, that is what we're focused on. We're focused on conscious, positive, loving self-talk. And tonight, because the full moon in Aquarius, we are tapping into affirmations that are aligned with the themes of this full moon in Aquarius, okay? Um, yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a moderator. Who wants to be a moderator for me? Do, 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 do. Okay, Amber, I'm gonna add you as moderator. Okay. Amber, I added you as moderator, so please remove the people who are not in here for the aligned reasons. Okay. Thank you, Amber. Yes, please start removing people. Um, Saturday nights are different from Friday nights because when I do Friday nights, it's different. The lighting is kind of bad in here, but I've been spending my day in my playroom all day, so that's where I color, create, write, all that jazz. Okay. So let's get present. Let's get present. Let us. I know I look kind of wild tonight. This big hair situation. It's like I don't know what's going on. But hey, let's put user in timeout. There we go. Y'all, this is my birthmark. People are so weird. Yes. Thank you. I know, right, TJ? Like Friday nights is probably, how did you get a black eye? Y'all, this is my birthmark. This is so weird. I haven't been listening to your affirmations a while now, and I tell you they have helped me so much. I really appreciate. What's on the wall? Affirmations are on the wall. It's never like this, right? Saturday nights are different from Friday nights. Friday nights are better. A lot of trolls in the chat. Yeah. Um, Amber, I don't know if you can make other people moderators or not, but if you can, um, I want to make sure I'm present so I can show up and not be distracted. Okay, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose. Out of the mouth. In through the nose. Out of the mouth. In through the nose one more time. These affirmations tonight come from a very personal place. I told you all every new moon, every full moon, I'll be doing affirmation lives or affirmation videos I'll post up here, but more than likely they'll be lives. And these affirmations come from my own personal devotion on how I'm talking to myself in real time. Like I said, some of you all saw my live from earlier today, and my energy was a lot different. And now I feel a lot slower, a lot more, not melancholy, but just mellow, smoothed on out. I did some, I had a personal devotion today with my heart and with my truth. And it was intense. Yes, it was intense. Okay, UK. It was intense. And I just feel like, you know, when you soothe a baby from having a whole tantrum, it's like the baby is just like, and you just like holding the baby like it's okay. There. That's how I feel right now. Okay. So I want to share with you guys what I've written down for tonight. I'm not going to be here long because I just want to continue to tend to myself, but I do have space to show up. Okay? The themes, before we get into the affirmation, the theme that came up for me for this full moon in Aquarius, my moon is in Aquarius. I'm Aries rising, Capricorn rising, Aries sun, and Aquarius moon. So I'm assuming that this is hitting me. You know what I'm saying? Like this moon is personal, okay? Because my Aquarius is in, my moon is in Aquarius. But the first theme of what came up for me is choosing to keep my heart open. So radical self-honesty, owning what's on my heart, even when it's messy. Radical self-honesty. You know, I can't hear your voices. I can't see your faces right now. But you all are here for a reason. And this is divine timing for you to be here. And so I can only feel that you're here because you can resonate with my timeline of what's coming up for me. And should I okay. And so what's coming up for me is radical self-honesty. I've had to be on, I feel like no matter how vulnerable I get, no matter how open I am with myself, no matter how transparent I show up online, there's so much more room for me to be that much more honest, that much more, you know, raw and vulnerable with myself. And is the lighting good, y'all? Can y'all see me good? I feel like it's a little... Let's put me over here. Is that better? Yes, Switzerland. I want to go to Switzerland so bad. And so I'm just so like, wow, and in awe of how open I can be, how deep I can go and still get a deeper invitation to the depth of my vulnerability, my love for myself, and still space for me to be challenged to see how honest I can be with myself. And I found it just even in this round, in this cycle of who I am with myself, with my vulnerability, my transparency, my all of that. I have felt some resistance. Like I'm like, "Ooh, I don't want to see that. Where is that coming from? Oh, that's familiar. I know this." And how is she still showing up in this timeline? Um, I'm not proud about it, but I'm also not worshiping shame about it. I'm being curious and I'm holding sacred space for these parts of me that I would love to evolve from like overnight, you know? And but yet there's grace. There's grace, you know? And so, man, it's a lot of what do they call them? Trolls in here tonight. We'll put people in time out, child. It's so radical self-honesty. Like, where is our heart? What did I write down here? Owning what's on my heart. Owning what's on my heart. So that's the first thing we want to ask ourselves. What is on our heart right now? What's true? You know, what are we feeling? What is real? Where is our integrity with our awareness about our heart experience right now, our heartfelt experience? You know what I mean? So that's the first thing that came up for me. And do I want to share what came up on my heart? No, I'll keep that for myself. But there was a range of things that came up on my heart. The second thing was emotional letting some emotions go, giving myself permission to let go, even in the uncertainty. You know, I experienced today with my devotion that even in the emotional letting go, there's just like, man, this other sense of uncertainty, of feeling like, you know, feeling like, man, well, I'm letting these emotions go, but what does this mean? You know, and allowing myself to be in the void of uncertainty and then also allowing myself to be in the void that my emotional release like created space for me to feel. You know, when you let go of these emotions, you're releasing things that took up space. So what's left over is this sense of spaciousness, sense of maybe a void. And voids are not necessarily bad or good, wrong or right. It's just that consciousness of the spaciousness that was created to where you actually are able to feel it, you know? And so, do you fill it up? Why I can't get comfortable, child? Let me see if I put my pillow. Okay, that feels better. um, you say it hurt me to my core, my most vulnerable state after losing my son to murder. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Tiffany. Isn't it crazy? I just think it's so wild. How death is literally a part of life. No matter how much I've learned to understand it, no matter how much, you know, you have to accept it a part of life, it's still just like, wow, that's really a thing here. So I send my love and prayers to your grief journey. And so letting go of any stale emotions, any emotional patterns that are not fruitful, that are not aligned with our highest selves of what is calling us in, calling us to the altar. We when we let that stuff go, we are creating spaciousness for ourselves. And it can be intimidating because that spaciousness is like, your brain is like, okay, what's next? What do we fill this space with? But it's honorable and it's holy to just sit in that and just be able to see where your edge of trusting the process is. Seeing if you can trust it just a little bit more. Get closer to it, you know? And so what else came up was claiming my timeline, choosing where my energy goes. So even in the midst of all of this awareness, all of this letting go, being real with my heart and swimming in the ebbs and flows of my emotions, I still get to be sovereign. I still get to be powerful. I still get to choose and use my will accordingly in supreme ways, choosing where my energy goes. Tonight I had a ceremony with myself, a ritual with myself, with honoring where my heart is and being able to um, you know, honor where my heart is, but also saying, hey, I release the emotions. I release any stale emotions that of what's on my heart, but I also get to be, I also get to be sovereign. I also get to be powerful and say, hey, um, I also get to be powerful and sovereign and say, hey, I had this space and time where I let go of this emotion. I don't have to have emotional hangover for the next 3 days and feel like I'm behind or I feel like I am less than. Because those things come up for me too. I'm really, you know, sometimes I be like, God, what are you doing with me? Divine plan, what is, I know I'm not to know everything, but what's tea for real? Because I be feeling like, how softer can I get? And have I been hardened anywhere inside of me that I don't know about, to where I require to be tenderized by certain things to crack me that much more often, that much more open, so I can feel more? How much more? How much more capacity am I to expand into? Yes, I am willing, but Lord have mercy. So claiming my timeline, even in the midst of being aware what's on my heart, even being aware of letting go of anything that is stale, that is on or in my heart. I get to claim my timeline and be able to say, yes, I let go of these emotions, these stale feelings, these stale ruminations of the past, of any fears of the future, any nervousness about the now and the uncertainty. Yes, I get to hold space, be honest about that and let it go, but I also get to interject and announce from a higher timeline of what is my now, what I speak into my reality now. I get to do that too. I get to experience my lower channels, my mid channels, and my higher channels as much as I want to, simultaneously sometimes, all at once, a lot of the times. That's why I asked you guys on my Instagram, if you guys are on my affirmation channel on my Instagram page, I asked you guys, make sure you watched my Instagram live from earlier today because it was a different energy. And I had planned on being that same energy tonight, but hey, hey, God forbid a girl be human with range. Oh, so this full moon in Aquarius is asking us, or at least asking me, to be honest. Where's my heart? What's on my heart? Okay. Is anything that's stale there? What can be let go a little bit more today? But don't live there. Don't create a story there. You also have the power. You also have the right to speak into existence and claim your timeline right now. The other thing that I wrote down in my devotion is joy and play as medicine, remembering my lightness and transformation. Remembering my lightness and transformation. Joy and play as medicine. Being able to tap into your whimsy, your childlike energy that helps you unserious the transformation, to unserious the awareness, to unserious the claiming of your timeline. You know what I mean? Make it light. What brings us joy? What fosters our heart to be light? Light as a feather. To not carry the heaviness of transformation, the seriousness of it all. Because we can get ourselves into trouble when we are taking this journey too serious. We can get ourselves into some mess. Joy and play as medicine. You said, Tiffany, you said, I went on to the park today to walk fat and fasted, and black couple was renting random bikes, tandem bikes inside that bike like I was, oh, okay, fine, okay, that's beautiful. Music and art, dancing, healing is not my purpose. Yeah, post in the comments. Where's your joy? What fosters a light heart? Nature for sure does it. For sure. Like, it does it like nobody else. You say, I rode that bike and like a 5-year-old. Yeah, I understood. It was just hard to read. Joy and play as medicine because when you crack open, when you open up like that through awareness towards your heart, and you have to feel that spaciousness, feel that opening, feel the sharpness of whatever that came through. It can feel heavy. So joy and play lightens it. It lightens it. Who are the people? What are the practices? What are the games? What are the hobbies? What are the activities? What are the relationships? The furry angels that you have. It means something. When was the last time we've indulged in curiosity of trying things, new things, going to new places, new foods? You know, one of the things I want to get into this week is painting rocks. I have tons of rocks outside of my house that I'm taking out of my soil for me to plant some things. Ooh, message. And I'm going to paint my rocks. Ooh, that's a real message. Removing the rocks out of my soil so I can plant some seeds so the roots can root without the rocks blocking it. And then I'm going to paint my rocks. Message. That landed. That landed. Wow. I'm going to take a moment for that. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to remove the rocks out of my soil so I can plant my seeds so the roots can grow deeper without being blocked by the rocks. And then I'm going to use the rocks that I remove and paint them. Oh my gosh. I feel like that would be what my affirmation music is. My affirmation music be like stuff that I've gone through that has tried to harden me, and I turn all of that stuff, all that pain, all that, any sensations for revenge or unforgiveness, all that, and I turn those stories, I turn those experiences, I turn them into wisdom, and I alchemize them into affirmations. So wow. So play and joy as medicine. So whatever we're going through our transformation, don't forget about enjoying yourself. Let's vow to not forget our joy. Let's vow to not forget our play. We have all the spaciousness to focus on what politician is doing this and that. We be having all the time and space and energy for focusing on what's going on in the world because we are human beings that have empathy. Of course, we're going to feel a certain way about suffering and seeing our fellow mankind going through things that just should not be, that we can't really logically process. But it doesn't mean that we cannot, that devastation, tragedy, grief, injustice should take up all the space to where our joy, our well-being, and our play is compromised. The whole point of expanding and evolving is to have more capacity and spaciousness to hold for the whole range of this human experience that is full of beauty, full of tragedy, full of pain, full of hope, full of joy, full of intimacy, full of pleasure. You know, it's the whole point of choosing our evolution, is just creating space for all the abundance of what this life can be. And lastly, what came up for me for this theme of full moon Aquarius is gratitude for becoming. And I'm grateful for, oh, I feel like I'm about to cry. Gratitude for the courage to be here like this. Gratitude for the courage to be present like this. Gratitude for the courage to admit where I'm lying to myself or where I would like to lie to myself. Gratitude for the courage for me owning the sacredness of my sexuality, the courage to be devoted to my higher self, the courage to continue to choose myself even after 100 times of not choosing myself. Last week, this morning, yesterday, the courage to lean in to the grace that our ego says we don't deserve. You know, the courage to be compassionate with the parts of us that judge us for not being where we expect ourselves to be, or for not meeting the ideals of ourselves. The courage to love ourselves where we're tempted to hate ourselves. Baby, that is bravery. That's some warrior type stuff in a world that has taught us to hate ourselves. Because when we hate ourselves, we get skillfully We get skillful in hating others. So the gratitude for the becoming. Kristen, where's she at? I think I removed her. Yeah, we talk about haters all the time. It's so interesting when I see on social media how much love and praise we give to people who comment on haters or the enemies outside of ourselves. But when it comes to, yeah, I don't want to go that route, but my point is how much we are over identified with haters outside of ourselves. When the real haters are what the program, the matrix that is ruling our nervous systems, our mental functions, you know? That's the truest and biggest hater of all, is the one within. So, I said these were the things that came up in my personal devotion with the full moon being in Aquarius. So we're going to get into the affirmations. So let's kind of have a recap of that. I said radical self-honesty, being honest with what's on our hearts, and then emotionally letting go, emotional release, letting go of anything that is stale, that's in our hearts and on our hearts. Claiming our timelines, no matter what that process feels like, with being aware, with our being honest about what's on our heart and the heaviness of what we need to let go of. We still have the power, we still have the right, we still are sovereign enough to choose our timeline. And choosing where our energy goes. Like, we don't have to just focus on what's on our heart. We don't have to just focus on what need to let go. We can also focus on the timeline of what we want to energize into reality. The enjoy and play as medicine. That is our vitamin. That is our medicine right now. Is to remember and to activate and embody, be curious, and explore what makes us joyful, like what energizes and activates and amplifies that joy and sense of play. Gratitude for becoming. Gratitude for becoming. Let's take a deep breath right there. Gratitude for becoming, knowing that everything is temporary. Nothing is lasting. No situation will last forever. The gratitude for being on the journey of the becoming. It's natural. It's natural. I mentioned on the live earlier today on Instagram that we are made up of a cellular nature that's always regenerating and degenerating cells. Our skin cells, the cells of our organs, always dying and rebirthing simultaneously throughout the day, for all the time. Supporting our growth, supporting our health, supporting the function of our bodies. This is just a physical representation of the energetic architecture of life. So becoming is where it's at. Being aligned with that becoming, not resisting it, not normalizing the resistance to that, because when we resist our becoming, we do what? We decline. We start to die, and we start to be a manifestation of death. Okay. Amber, are you still in here? I think I need a new moderator. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to get into the affirmations. Yes, please, Natasha, add us moderator. All right, I made you the moderator, Natasha. Thank you. Okay, so I want you guys to repeat after me these affirmations, and then we're going to close out because I only have so much space for tonight. I'm about to take a bath, a yoni steam, and just tend to myself. Probably make me a salad, a good salad, and some tea. Okay. What did I write here? Oh, okay. Okay, repeat after me, okay, y'all? I am safe to tell myself the truth. I let go what my spirit has outgrown. I let go of what my spirit has outgrown. I'm willing to see myself clearly and love what I see. I'm willing to see myself clearly and love what I see. My emotions are sacred messengers. Thank you, Tiffany. I trust the timing of my becoming. Need to take a deep breath right there, y'all. I trust the timing of my becoming. We have to be honest about that. Let's affirm that we trust. Let's affirm that I would like to say, I would like to affirm I am more willing to trust the timing of my becoming now more than ever. I am more open to trusting more of the timing of my becoming. That feels more honest, feels more sincere, more genuine. Because sometimes I don't be trusting. Sometimes. A lot of the times. But I can feel the trust. I can feel her growing through me. I can feel the sincerity of her moving through the channels that have been dense, that have learned not to trust. Okay? I let joy and play lead me into new timelines. I let joy and play lead me into new timelines. So I'm going to confess something to you all before I go into the next affirmation. So much of my journey as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, as an artist and creative has been off the beaten path. I haven't followed any blueprint, any advice. And some people will say, well, that's probably why you have this result or why this hasn't happened. But my journey is my own journey. And I have seen a lot of results come from joy and play. And I'm learning, I feel like the way my work ethic is maturing, where it's maturing and grounding without compromising the leadership of joy and play. And it's kind of uncomfortable, but I'm not impressed by how uncomfortable it is. My journey has always been on a path that's very unpopular. Especially unpopular for a Black woman. Because our work ethic has been defined by our exhaustion, by our martyrdom, by our you know, sacrificing our health, our living, our spontaneity, our leisure, like our work ethic has been defined. Women in general, but specifically Black women, have been defined by sacrificing ourselves for success, for the long term benefits. I sacrifice my, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm learning to where to, like, I'm learning the dance of flow, the rhythm of flow, and allowing and accepting, and the wisdom of actions and intentions and inspired actions and diligence and devotion and stewardship to the things that the Most High has given me. The Most High has given me an audience. The Most High has given me a unique career in music and ministry and affirmation. It's beautiful. And it requires a stewardship that includes leadership, the leadership of joy and play. Who's talking about building businesses from the leadership of joy and play? And so with me being an Aries sun, you know, the Aries is the innocence of the zodiacs. Me being Aquarius moon, very airy, very liberated, very feminine. And then my Capricorn rising is earth, so it's groundedness. So I'm always in between that dance with what the Most High has given me of being fluid, being grounded, being innocent, being pure, and you know? So y'all pray for me. I'm dead ass serious too. Pray for me. The next affirmation is my emotions are, oh, hold on, I did that already. I said I let joy and play lead me into new timelines. Man, writing on natural paper is so interesting. The next affirmation is even in change, I am grounded in love. Even in change, I am grounded in love. You can, I mean, shoot, you can find it in ChatGPT. You can go on humandesign.com. You can go on Google. That will provide some websites that you can go to, but you have to know your birthday and time. Hi. Even in change, I am grounded in love. Because change can be, it can give very much tornado. Change could very much give fire. Change could very much give flood. Change could be very much give just, yeah, a weathering experience. But being able to say, even through it all, I'm grounded in love. I love myself enough. Thank you, Natasha. I love myself enough to ground myself in it all. Bessie said, why are people afraid to be themselves? I don't know why people are afraid to be themselves, but I can say why I've been afraid to be myself. Um, I've been afraid to be myself in various parts of my timeline. I mean, am I afraid now? I don't know if I'm afraid. I don't think fear is the right word, but it could be. I don't know. But to speak on that, it's like, will I be relatable? Cause I'm the type of person, I'm a stylish girl, I'm a fly girl, I'm a round the way girl. I have so many versions of myself. I'm a very multifaceted woman, especially when it comes to expressing myself. And sometimes the deeper parts of me, the divine parts of me, the way she wants to take up space, I get afraid of really being fully in that because I'm like, am I gonna be relatable? Sometimes my sexuality, my sensuality, the expression of that feels so good to me. It has nothing to do with hormones or being horny, but it's being in this creative embodiment of femininity. It feels so good to be in that, to be sexy. And times I've been afraid to be that because I'm around women who are not into that or who have not experienced that awareness or realization within themselves. Or I have felt afraid to be that because of how that's going to be preyed upon the men that are around me. So it can be a various range of reasons why people are afraid to be themselves. And so a lot of times it's valid, but it's not an excuse to not be yourself. It's times where I show up online where I'm just like, how vulnerable do I want to be? Do I want to show up fully like that? You know, so it's a experience to be able to be mindful about where your edge is and what and who has space for your energy. And if anybody is going to have the spaciousness and energy for the totality of who you are in this timeline presently, it's you. If nobody has it, it's you. And that's what I feel like I've been called to do is be the world, be the connections that I desire to experience. The next affirmation is I am magnetic to what nourishes me. I am magnetic to what nourishes me. I am magnetic to what nourishes me. And when you write these down and when you watch this as a replay, really sit with these affirmations. See where your body, where your mind, just what comes up for you. Like, do I really believe this? Is there any resistance to this? Am I committed to hold on to this affirmation and claim it till I know it? Where I transcend belief, I transcend zeal, I know it because my body knows it. I'm magnetic to what nourishes me. The parts of us who've been traumatized by attracting more trauma, more chaos. The parts of us who are experiencing the things that we did not want to attract into our lives, that we did not want to experience. Can the affirmation, I am magnetized, I am magnetic to the things that nourish me, can that affirmation live in those spaces? Sit with these affirmations because these are identity shifting announcements. Okay? And the last affirmation, I thank my past for bringing me here. Woo! 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 I thank my past for bringing me here. So we've been on here for an hour. I thought I was only going to be on here for 30 minutes. But I thank you all for tapping in with me. If you all want to get closer to how I show up with this message of affirmations and affirmation music, join my Patreon. It's $11.11 okay? I'm specifically calling in the people, inviting the people that have been practicing my music, who have been transformed by my music, okay? There will be exclusive music, exclusive offerings and values that I only provide for the people that are in the Patreon neighborhood, okay? You all have a beautiful rest of your full moon. Be gentle with yourselves and nourish yourselves during this time, no matter what's coming up for you all. All right? Thank you. Gratitude. Peace.